Well, why don't we leave part of the basketball talk there? We've got somebody on the line who I read something that if he could play any other sport, it would be power forward for the Sixers. So he can jump in on our Sixers conversation. Offensive lineman for the Buffalo Bills, Ryan Bates, is joining us. How you doing today, Ryan?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for joining us. We were just having our Sixers talk. I hear that's what you wanted to be if you had your chance. You're a basketball player.
If football never worked out, I'd be a basketball player without a doubt. I'm missing. I would love 3 more inches. To add that to the 6'5", I would love to be 6'8" if I was to play basketball. But if football never worked out, I'd love to get a basketball shot. Of course,
How are
I'd
you
have to
from
lose.
how are you from 3-point range?
I'm not too bad of a shot, depending on the day. Other people, my buddies might say otherwise, but I have some confidence in my long range. So
Well, before we get to the football talk, we wanted to ask you about something you came across through your years playing football, which seems like an amazing cause and effort you're involved with. Tell us a little bit about uplifting athletes and how you became a part of it, and then we'll talk football afterwards.
of course, yeah. So Uplifting Athletes is an organization. It's an organization I got involved with in college. My freshman year of college is my first time I got to participate in the organization. And so in college we had this fundraiser called Lift for Life, and it's one of the many initiatives that Uplifting Athletes brings to the table to raise money for the rare disease community. And from my understanding, there's 23 colleges. So it actually started at Penn State from a guy named Scott Shirley. If I got the story right, his dad passed away from a rare disease, and he started, I think it was in 2003. And my senior year, I had the privilege to become the president for that year of that organization, for Live for Life for that year. And it's all about using the power of sport to bring awareness to the rare disease community, because there are a lot of different diseases out there that people don't know about and don't have nearly the amount of funding that they should, as other diseases might have, different types of cancers and different types of disabilities that people might not be aware of. So I got involved with that my freshman year. I became president my senior year back in 2018. And ever since then, I kind of stuck with it, and I'm happy to be a part of the organization.
One of the things that you're doing with this is that there's actually a draft that relates to the scientist. Tell us a little bit about what it's like watching those guys go through getting drafted.
Oh, it's awesome. So they kind of took the idea from the NFL draft, where you have all these young athletes who are amazing in their football abilities, and they get drafted in the NFL draft. And so they took that idea and kind of used it to put a spotlight on the emerging promising young medical researchers in the rare disease, whatever disease it might be. There's a lot of young researchers. That's what the Young Investigators Draft, we used that to bring awareness. And I think they had $140,000 in grant funding, and for each person, so the 7 rounds, just like the NFL draft, and each person who was drafted got $20,000 of grant funding, unrestricted grant funding, for their respected field. So that was exciting. I got to be a part of that. I got to call out one of the draft picks. It was a good experience.
How special is it to you personally? We talk to athletes about the way they use their platform and the platform that they have. And here you're somebody that's used this platform going back to your high school days, through your college days, as a pro now. You're going to help be responsible for research that will do breakthroughs and save lives. What does it mean to you to know that you've been a part of that happening?
That's exciting. I'm happy to be a part of something bigger than myself and bigger than sports. It's awesome that I get to use. I'm fortunate to be in the situation I am and the career that I'm in. I'm just happy to be here and help in any way I can. At the end of the day, that's like I said, I can't appreciate of the opportunity that I've been in, through the power of sport and using my platform. That's the least I could do. I just want to help people be happy. There's too much negativity in this world, especially in today's age, and I'm just trying to bring something positive forth.
So one of the other positive things was football still made it through a season despite the pandemic. and you played for the Buffalo Bills and got to see probably sooner than a lot of teams, fans come back in the Bills Mafia. What is it like to play on a team before that kind of crowd?
Oh, it's awesome. You know, throughout it's unfortunate because this season we got to have the fans in the playoffs, but throughout the whole season our home games were empty, and it was kind of weird, you know, not having the fans in the stands. But the Buffalo Bills, you know, the community, the fans, the organization as a whole, phenomenal. I can't say enough. And of course I'm biased, you know, obviously being a Buffalo Bill, but it's amazing, the community, you know, that revolves around the football team up there is awesome. The fan base is awesome. There's so many people up there that are passionate about the game of football, and you know, it's awesome. And so the first playoff game versus the Colts was the first game we were allowed to have fans back in the stadium, and it's crazy the difference it made. You know, they helped us out tremendously. The fans helped us out tremendously with the noise affecting the other quarterback, affecting the other offense, and you know, it's awesome being there to experience that.
You know, before you got to Buffalo, you're a local guy who played your college ball at Penn State, undrafted, but got to be with the Eagles and spend some time here. You got to work with and learn under guys like Jason Kelsey, Lane Johnson, Jason Peters. What was that experience like for you? It seems like you were kind of a sponge, just soaking it all in.
Oh yeah, it was awesome. You know, I grew up in the Eagles fan. I grew up in Bucks County, in one of the surrounding suburbs of Philadelphia, and I grew up the Eagles fan my whole life. I grew up watching Jason Peters. I grew up watching Lane Johnson, Jason Kelsey, all the names you just named. And it was an amazing experience to be able to not only learn from these individuals, but play with them. Like I could be on the field with them. And it was truly a dream come true, you know, the time I spent with the Eagles. Uh, but, you know, being traded to Buffalo was the best thing that could have happened to me.
Well, it seemed like the best opportunity for you. And if you look at the way Buffalo does it, they pride themselves on versatility. And I found it interesting. You're the only offensive lineman who's listed as offensive lineman on the team's website. Everybody else has a position, but it seems like you're that versatile guy that can play everywhere. How did you become that in terms of your preparation and your ability to play in so many different positions?
Um, the biggest part about that is you know, keeping your head in the playbook. I got to, you know, when I first got to Buffalo, my first position in Buffalo was tackle, but they threw me in at center, and they wanted me to learn how to snap and, you know, get comfortable playing center. And you know, once you learn center, you learn every other position on the O line from guard to tackle, because everything from the center on out, it's once you know the center's job and the center's what they're supposed to do every play, everything else kind of falls into place once you learn that. And obviously, I played tackle in college, and I pride myself on having, you know, being athletic and being able to be out in space against these fast guys. You know, some of these guys are freaks. They're 6'6", 260 pounds, run a 4.3. It's insane. So I pride myself in being versatile. You know, that's how you stick around in this league. You know, you got to play more than one spot, and eventually, you know, my goal is to be a starter. You know, wherever it's at, tackle, guard, center. But right now, like I'm fortunate enough to be versatile and be in the position I am in with the Bills.
We talked about what it was like to get fans back in the stadium. Obviously, COVID changed everything. I hear you were living with your parents, working out in their garage. You got your Zoom meetings there, work out at
Yeah,
the gym in the office. Tell us about that.
yeah. So in my garage, I'm back in my childhood home, back in Bucks County, and you know, I got my little folding table in the garage. I got a bunch of brand new weightlifting equipment. When COVID hit last year, I was actually training in Jersey before COVID hit, and once COVID hit, I was like, okay, I'm not going to another gym again. I got to work out here, and so I need some things to work out with. And a lot of the things at first, I was doing a lot of body weight stuff, and it was kind of in the butt, just because, you know, I'm used to moving heavy weight in the weight room, and you go from opposite ends of the spectrum in that sense. And I've invested in some weightlifting equipment this past off season, and I got a whole new setup down there now. I'm all excited about it. I call it the dungeon. You know, that's where I grind. I got my little folding table for Zoom meetings, and it's a good setup I got down there.
You had the opportunity to play with a quarterback that has gotten better and better each season. You made it to one game from the Super Bowl. What does the future look like for the Buffalo Bills, and how exciting for you is it? How exciting is it for you to get back to it?
That's very exciting. Truly, the sky is truly the limit in Buffalo. There's so much talent, and to be with that talent, there's so many good people up there. Not, like, they might be good at football, but they're better people off the field. And that's the special thing about it. They really do treat you like a family up there. And like I said before, the sky's the limit with this organization. And I would love to stay in Buffalo for my whole career. I mean, I love it there. And I'm excited to see what happens this season, and how good we do.
When you get back on the field, last year they had an extra wild card game. Looks like this year, one game shorter in the preseason, but a 17th game. What's it going to be like to have an extra game in the season each year?
It's going to be longer. Go from 16 to 17 games. It's another opportunity to get better. That's the truth. And it's another week to fight on. That who knows, that 17th game might be do or die for us. Like, nobody ever knows. So it's just another opportunity to move on.
So tell us where people like us who are not athletes can help out with uplifting athletes and helping with inspiring these rare disease communities and getting more money to them.
So if you go to the webpage, you should go right to the webpage, and there is a step-by-step process that could help you with donating on. Like I said before, there's plenty of different initiatives that Uplifting Athletes has, from the Young Investigator Draft to Live for Life to Reps for Rare Disease. If you go to the homepage, I think it's just upliftingathletes.com, if I'm not mistaken. It should be the first thing that pops up, and it should be a step-by-step process on the homepage if you want to donate to whichever initiative you choose to take part in. It's a pretty simple process, but every little bit counts.
All right. So before we let you go, Ryan, we got to ask you a question. First of all, the Buffalo Bills have like the best press kit for each of their players. So we're hoping this information is right. You appear to be a big Step Brothers fan.
Yeah, I'm a big Step Brothers fan. That's one of my favorite movies.
All right. So then we're going to ask you one Step Brothers trivia question, and then we'll let you go. What is fancy sauce?
Okay, lay it on me.
What is fancy sauce?
What is fancy sauce?
Look at you, Jeff. You're stumped.
Look at that. Stumped him. It's the mixture of ketchup and mayonnaise.
I knew it involved ketchup. I couldn't Christ.
He's going to be going back watching Step Brothers again now.
The other one. I knew it was ketchup.
My guess is it's not nearly as good as the buffalo sauce that you're getting to eat while you're up in Buffalo.
Oh, not nearly as good. Oh my God, the buffalo wings is insane in Buffalo. I can't get wings anywhere else because it just ruins the experience for me. Because the buffalo wings in Buffalo are amazing.
Yeah, as a wing fan, you definitely ended up in the right place. Ryan, we thank you so much, not only for what you're doing on the field, what you're doing off the field. It's great stuff. We appreciate the time, and hope to keep in touch with you as you go forward.
Of course. I appreciate you guys having me on here.
Thank you so much. You have a great day.
You
Jeff,
guys as well.
These athletes, the way they use their platforms is, I mean, he's been doing this since high school.